Hello there, I'm Matteo, the Chief Mobile Opinionist at the Tech Travel Geeks, and this is the Tech Travel Geeks setup video of the Zepp E smartwatch. Yesterday we published the original unboxing of the Zepp E smartwatch, and this is the follow-up video where we go through the full setup. In this case I'm going to be pairing the smartwatch to my Apple iPhone 11 to see what the experience is like. If you don't already, please do subscribe to the Tech Travel Geeks here on YouTube. Right then, in the Apple App Store, the one that has a lot of controversy at the moment, there's an app called the ZeppE app, formerly Amazfit. So this is the app you use for setting up your Zepp E smartwatch, and I'm going to tap on that now and see what happens. So it wants to know location and Bluetooth. I have just done that, and I'm going to tap on the watch itself to see if there's any things. Okay, so we can use a third-party account to log into this app. I'm going to use Google in this sense. And we're going to sign up. UK, it already knows where we are, so that's great. Okay, I agree the policy. Okay, so we've given it access to our motion and details. It's taken my avatar from my account. There's a bit of an incorrectness here. Let me change date of birth. Okay, we'll go with the preset for everything in terms of fitness. Target sleep time, 8 hours. I think that's a reasonable target sleep time. Oop. Gender, I am male. I identify as male. Height, I am 1 meter and 73 centimeters. Weight, I'm going to be optimistic and say that I am currently 88. That was the last time I weighed myself. So that's my profile set up. Oh no, it didn't take that. Maybe it doesn't believe me. Let's see. 88 kilos. Okay. So that's your profile setup. In this case, the ZeppE app is appropriate to a series of different devices. In this case, it's going to be a watch. So it's now going to search for the watch without a QR code. I'm doing this on advice of Zepp, who sent us this review sample of the Zepp E smartwatch, because it is a pre-production device, and that means that it may not have all the software requirements that the full production device have. But that was fairly simple. It identified the watch, it identified everything and set itself up. And as you can see, it already knows that the watch itself is charging. Now, it's now immediately suggesting that I update to the latest version of the software for the device. And as you can see, it is downloading onto the device. Let me move the watch along. It's still charging, but I'm going through this. That's probably the best way to do it, is to update whilst you're charging. That seems to have been the download of the software update onto the device. You can see the Zepp logo is showing, which means that it's currently rebooting, which is a good sign. And now we'll just wait for the watch to turn on and connect. I'm really quite surprised by how simple that update process was for the firmware on the watch itself. This is the new Zepp E smartwatch with a 1.28 circular display. It's an AMOLED display that can always be on, so just like a normal watch. And it's 326 pixels per inch. As a former chief pixel density enthusiast at another publication, I appreciate high pixel density, as is the case with this watch. Not only that, as we saw in the unboxing, the physical watch itself is lovely. It's like just a rounded pebble. It's completely round and it curves off to the sides nicely. On the underside, there's a concentric circle design. So you have the heart rate monitor and SpO2, that's the oxygen in your blood sensors, in this circular part, and then the rest of the watch is around that, and it seems to have very nice industrial design here. So let's see if this is ready yet. Obviously not, but I have to say overall the fit on me is excellent. With the pre-installed smaller strap, I still need to use the loops to put it on my wrist, but you can see there that the update is still happening on the watch itself. And so after the first update was completed, we're now downloading a second update. This is quite intense. We're now going up to version 2.4.2.01. So lots of activity going on here. Okay then, and I'm back. So the update process took a while, but is now complete. And as you can see, I now have a watch face and a functioning watch. So it takes in total around about 20 minutes to complete. But once you do, your watch is updated and you can start using it. So what I've done now is strapped on the watch using the short strap. I have a dainty little wrist. And it's a nice AMOLED screen. You can't really see a difference between the edge and where the screen starts. That's the beauty of AMOLED. Only the pixels that are actually on are on. And the user interface is very, very smooth. As you can see, there's lots of details here about what you can do in terms of quick settings. And you can use it as a torch as well, which is very handy. There's lots of features here as far as the smartwatch goes, but let's start looking at the app. So the app itself is now synchronizing between the watch and this phone, and what you can see is there's quite a few settings here. So these are the exercise settings. So you set this up before doing a form of exercise or before setting your alarm and so forth. And then that gets set on the device itself. You have some very useful features in the Enjoy section, such as Find Your Device. If you tap that, your watch vibrates and lights up. So I can feel that vibrating, and it's a pretty powerful little motor in the notification in this watch. Now, there's all the usual settings and how to handle calls and so forth. So you can set up alerts, your wrist will vibrate, and you can show contact information of who's calling you, but there's no details regarding being able to actually make the calls on this. So this ZeppE smartwatch doesn't do actual voice calls on it and doesn't seem to have a speaker. Currently, there aren't any features for NFC and so forth for payment cards in the UK market. These are features that will be very market dependent. But at the moment, let's have a look at the device itself. It's now fully charged because I was charging it whilst it was updating. And that relatively efficient battery gets charged very, very quickly by its charging cable. And I was pretty impressed by that. We went from 60% to 100% in less than 20 minutes. Now, these are the settings for this watch itself on my wrist. I have setting incoming call alerts to be on. I don't have any events scheduled. I don't have an alarm set, but there's a few other devices that you can do. Is you can define which wrist it's on, left or right. Do you want to lift your wrist to see information? So if I do this very gently, you'll see the screen is off. This saves power, but if I lift my wrist, it turns on immediately. and that's very, very fast and responsive. So weather settings, I'm not in Collington. It believes I'm in Collington. Let's just tell it that I'm in Edinburgh. For those of you who don't know, Collington is a town just outside of Edinburgh, but we're going to go for Edinburgh actual. So there we go, got the settings done, and that's the setup of the watch itself. Now there are lots of other details you can do. You can change watch faces, and there's a store for that. But let's have a look at different ones. I quite like this minimalist one with your step count, your heart rate, the date, and the weather in place. See, I just got a Twitter notification. Daniel Bader just liked a tweet of mine. But let's go back to the watch faces. There's lots of different ones here, lots of different colors. Let's try a nice colorful one. And so this will synchronize the watch face to the device. So I've tapped on the style or the type of watch face, and then you just tap sync, and as you can see, it takes a few seconds. Again, not the fastest of experiences, but this isn't something you'll be doing a lot. It's just initially when you set it up, you usually choose the watch face you want, or occasionally you'll decide to change watch faces. But it's a fun little thing, and you can see that the app mirrors the percentage in the watch, so it's pretty 1-to-1 in this case. But it's just to see what the full watch face with a brighter background looks like, rather than the all black one. There we go. So you can see it has a significant bezel around the edges, but it does look pretty good. And there's a whole selection of other watch faces that you can have for it. Actually, I quite like watermelon. Quirky is for me. Fruit platter. So it's now synchronizing. Again, it will take a few seconds to get a watch face from your iPhone or Android phone with the ZeppE app onto the ZeppE smartwatch. The ZeppE, in this case the round version, I really like. It fits on my wrist really nicely, and it's not too thick, it's nice and light. Fits nice and snugly with this. I have space to widen the strap if needed, so let's just widen it a little. But it has a really good fit on the wrist, and I like it. The strap's not too wide. The round watch fits nicely and doesn't seem to be too thick. So what we're going to do over the next few weeks is use this as a main smartwatch paired with my iPhone 11 and give you some first impressions in a week or two. And we'll start working on the full review of the ZeppE smartwatch as well. So plenty of watch faces to choose from. Really nice selection here. Let's see what more quirky ones have. Or another category, digital dashboard. Simple and modern, such as the initial one we had. There's loads of different watch faces to choose from here. And the leaderboard, colourful time seems to be the winner at the moment. Though I have to say this watermelon one is quite cool. So I will leave you on watermelon time. It's almost 10 PM here in the UK. We'll leave you with this video of the setup of the ZeppE smartwatch. If you have any further questions or you'd like to know more about this smartwatch, its setup, or my experience with the iPhone, please do leave us a comment in the comments section underneath the video. If you like this video, please give us a like. But for now, thanks for watching, and if you don't already, please do subscribe to the Tech Travel Geeks here on YouTube.